welcome back to our channel. This is Rashida. This is Ebony. And this is the lovely Mariah. And together we are R.E.M. But don't ever sleep on us. But today we decided to take this lovely Sunday and make Sundays. So we got a little, got some bananas, got a little strawberries. Well, what is this? A little butterscotch. Oh no, caramel. Excuse me, caramel. Got some maraschino cherries. Got some chocolate sauce. I don't like peanuts, but this weirdo do like peanuts in her Sunday.
Did you call me a weirdo?
Squeeze me.
No, yeah.
We got some strawberry sauce.
My ass.
No, we have the Hershey that hardens. You need that in a Sunday. Okay, we got our lovely Ready Whip.
That's what she said. No.
Anywho, and we got some Neapolitan ice cream. You don't need to see that. Okay.
So today, I mean, as you know, we're here playing around with our Sundays, but it's going to be a real serious topic. Mm-hmm. Today, we're going to be talking about the situation that's currently going on with Bachelor Nation. Now, for Black people, we're not really big watchers, viewers of the show, but in the last few years, they've been having Black I guess leads. The first Black female lead was Rachel Lindsay, and I'm mentioning her for a reason. And then the second lead, which is going on now, is a male, and his name is Matt James. And so, knowing the history of the Bachelor Nation, one would have to know that there has not been any African American or people of color leads, and barely is the cast of people of color too. So, Rachel Lindsay, she did come on the show. She found her significant other. Congratulations to her, and she is still married to him. He happens to be of the Colombian persuasion. Now, Matt James is on here, and he has that. I believe, I don't watch it. I'm just hearing what's going on in the news because of the topic of what's going on. But I'm hearing that he has narrowed it down to 3 people. One of these people is another Rachel, and I think her name is Rachel. I wrote it down because I wasn't. Rachel Crocano.
She's gonna be white.
I may not be saying. My goodness.
What?
I may not be saying her name right. But okay, I can't. What? But anyway, and the reason why I guess they're calling it that, whatever. This is for racist people, right? So if you're not racist or whatever, thank you very much. But this is directly straightly toward racist white people. Okay, so just have that in mind. That's a disclaimer, I guess. I mean, if you want to call it a disclaimer. Anyway,
yeah.
The situation at hand was Matt James is an African American male, like I mentioned, and one of the final 3 contestants, Rachel Kirkconnell, is Caucasian, and recently has been found a video surfaced of video or some pictures, Polaroids, whatever, surfaced of her at an antebellum party. And for those who are not familiar with antebellum parties, antebellum meaning anti-war, they wasn't just specified for Civil War, but over the course of the years, they became known for Civil War activities. So if you go to
the only people who celebrated antebellum were people who coincidentally are still hanging Confederate flags.
Right, exactly. Right? So who wants the Old South? Who stand for the Old South, the Confederate South, the racist South, the slave
Jim Crow
South, the Jim Crow South.
The Robert Lee South.
And what happened was Rachel Lindsay, which I told you was the African American female lead from years before. She interviewed, because she works as a correspondent on Extra TV. She interviewed the host of the Bachelor franchise, Chris Harrison. And on there, she was letting him know, the racial connotations and a lot of stuff that the girl Rachel was doing. Because in addition to the antebellum party that she attended, she also liked racist comments.
She went to it's funny because always white people go to Cinco de Mayo parties, even though they want to build a wall. It was a Cinco de Mayo party, but she had the mustache, the sombrero, and the poncho. What else did she do?
But then I don't know if she made racist comments under that, or they was just dressed like that. So I don't know if people are trying to bring her racist for cultural appropriation. I mean, I know a lot of people wear ponchos. I don't know what
they were. The Mexican.
Right.
She was trying
to be funny. And then she was liking quite a few comments with people with the Confederate flag hanging in the back. She liked quite a few racist comments, quite a few.
And this is one of the girls that he's choosing.
Yeah, is one of his choices.
She went to Trump rallies or something like that, and her friend said she never was interested in.
Well, the from my understanding, her family, her parents are Trump supporters, right? And I wanted to touch that too, or whatever. So. Yeah, normally I don't feel like all Republicans are racist, but I do feel Trump supporters are racist. Yeah. So but that's going to be on another show. I'm not going to dig into that right now. But going back to this, so anyway, so knowing all of this, I want to get right into it, right, with the fact that Rachel, because I want to, so really, okay, real quick, sorry. Chris Harrison, instead of listening to Rachel Lindsay say, listen, what would I would have been had I been attending to one of those parties? Because at the antebellum party, if a black person attends and you're celebrating the Old South, that means I'm a slave here at this party. And so Chris Harrison, instead of understanding what Rachel was trying to say, he basically was defending the actions of Rachel Kirkconnell. Yeah. And he was just like, oh, back in the day, she did this years ago.
In 2018.
Real quick, I just previously had this conversation with my mom. When white people try to tell people of color what's not racist,
how we should
react, or how we should feel, I don't think y'all understand what that does to me. Like, you can't tell me how I should react. How I really want to react is to punch her in the face. So the fact that I'm using my words, telling you how I feel, like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But and here in this particular...
I'm over here trying to get this hot fudge out, y'all. We're going to have to just 86 the hot fudge.
Okay, we're going to 86. Okay, 1 minute. So for me, the issue becomes when people say, oh, she can't be racist. How can she be racist because she's on the show and she's dating a black man? So here's my thing about that. Back in the day, there's a lot of mixed in quadroon or whatever, octoroon or whatever you used to call, people of color, who the slave masters raped the slaves, men and women, bucked them, emasculated black men, slept with their females. Right, raped them and everything.
Had the babies on their
yes, breastfed the white babies, and it was racist as hell. So all of that. Oh, how can she possibly be? No, we're not gonna buy that. We're not eating those excuses anymore. I never did, but now since we're fake woke now,
there's been black women have been saying this, but nobody really listens to us. We've been saying that white women, it's different. White women can find black men attractive or be with a black man or whatever. They can stomach, let's just say stomach them or whatever. But if that same white woman can't respect a black woman, she's racist. I don't care. Go ahead.
No, what kills me though is I remember when everybody was trying with this Bachelor with your black ass, was rallying, us black females, us black women were rallying for a black Bachelor. Was doing what's it called?
Petitions,
was doing all type of stuff, and then you get and this never fails. You get on this public platform and then you say, everybody wants me to choose one. This train is never late. Everybody wants me to choose, a certain race. And he wanted to, mention the fact that he's half white and he has to follow his heart.
Oh, yeah. In the beginning, there was a lot of that. Oh, you gotta remember I'm half white.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to choose a black woman because I'm the first black.
Exactly. But it was us.
Now what happened?
Right. So now, so just to connect it. So now you done said all of that, did your whole disclaimer because you want to be apologetically
now you
black,
looking fugazi.
Right? Instead of just being unapologetically black and picking whoever you pick. If you want to pick whoever you pick, just pick them. But don't come with disclaimers and everything else. Now the scenario pops up where this girl, right, one of your final contestants is racist, or or having racist actions, and now it's like, oh, I'm very disappointed and I'm shocked and I'm surprised. Black people, are you still shocked by people that are racist?
It's like when people go into stores and be like, did you just call me the N-word? Oh my God, yes.
People,
there's
people
policemen that shoot people in broad daylight because they're black. There's been policemen on grand juries who have admittedly killing someone, but you know what I mean? They just we have to stop.
There's too many instances of racism for us to keep on saying. I still can't believe that this is going on.
We have blatantly saw a white woman in a park say, this man is attacking me as she's killing her own dog, and this man is just watching birds. So we have seen this. So to be as educated, and let me rephrase that. I know you are educated. I know you are worldly, and I know you see things. For you to still be that educated black man and be like, I'm just shocked, and I can't believe, and I don't understand how. You don't understand how what? And also, in my opinion, that little thick ass apology talking about when he was like the acknowledgement from what's his name, the Bachelor, the guy's name, what's his name,
the host,
no, the Matt from him, when he was saying about Rachel Lindsay, like, oh, what she said about my friend, his quote about him being heartbroken.
Well, no. Well, I mean, okay. In all fairness, he was saying, which is, I like, what I'm saying, black support or whatever, supporting each other, because Rachel has been getting slammed. I mean, I think even as of late, I think she temporarily suspended her Instagram account because she's been getting slammed by Bachelor Nation, which is majority white audience, and they've been, slamming her, calling her an instigator, whatever. So here's the thing. You don't ever get tired of calling out racism. No. You cannot put your foot on the brakes. You have to keep your foot on the gas.
You have to keep your foot on their neck. Think you don't see it.
Yes, and the task is daunting and it's hard and everything else or whatever. So with her being called the instigator, just for like all this time, the franchise is working. Then you see what happens when you start bringing black people on the show. But that's what you're supposed to do.
Well,
you're supposed to start dismantling. Hold on, you're supposed to dismantle all that old shit and get ready for some new shit, because all that was fake, racist, built on hatred, and now it's
I don't want to see your white love. Let me just say this, please. I'm over your white love. We've seen 20 seasons of your Caucasian love. We have seen it. I'm over it. Personally, for me, I have never watched The Bachelor. No, excuse me. I have never watched The Bachelor, just for the reasons that I have said. I don't want to see your white love bloom. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But what kills me about white people is be very happy that all we are is using our words. Be very happy with the history that we have with y'all and the things that you have done. The most she is doing is calling you out for your racism instead of smacking you. That's what I'm saying. I don't think white people understand the comfort that we give y'all. Y'all do so much. You say so much, you act a certain way, and we give you the comfort of not putting our hands on you and just talking to you.
It was like Chris Hansen was like...
Chris Harrison
was just giving her the homie, the Rachel chick said
a pass.
Just so many passes. It was just like pass after pass. It was like, so long ago. It was 2 years ago. I don't know how old she was.
Yeah, that's
know that it's 2020. If she made it to the final three, you pretty much know her. You know her age or whatever, so you can just subtract 2. It's not that long ago.
Yeah. Well, you can't say back in the day. You can't say back in the day when it was only in 2018.
That's what I'm saying.
And just got to 2021. Yeah. It's this protect Karen at all costs, that we are talking about the racist Karens. That whole lot. Right, we're not talking about those who are, down with the struggle or whatever, but we are definitely talking about those who have been benefiting and who do not mind benefiting from a system that which to keep us oppressed. And with this situation and with the Rachel situation, just the pass after pass, because if this would have been a black contestant and they said something offensive about Jewish people, then they would have automatically been off the show and everything else, and there would have been no. Take what happened with Nick Cannon, for instance. So there is definitely a double standard in TV. We know this and everything else. Now I will say that she did come back with an apology, and she's saying that it's a sincere apology, because what she's telling the people is those people who are DMing her like, it's not your fault and you didn't do nothing wrong, and she's like, no, I did do something wrong. Don't tell me that I didn't do. I know I did, and she's like, my ignorance was racist, so I don't want you to excuse me or whatever. And she was like, the reason why she's just now speaking up about it was because she didn't want it to come across like disingenuous or or anything like that. Or whatever.
When these apologies just be happening, they just do nothing from my heart, because when you really seriously, when you really think of this ignorant
2 years ago,
but when you really think about the damage that you could have done to a person, the damage that you could have done to one of our black men or one of our black women, I don't feel this apology does nothing for me.
Because we're not going to pretend that we don't know what racism is, what was going on in the South with slaves. We're not going to pretend that, so you don't get to use the excuse, or somebody doesn't, because she didn't come up with the excuses. Let me be fair to her. It was people around her making excuses. You don't get to use those excuses anymore. That's all we know in history. That's all they teach us is slavery.
Yeah.
But we know what it is, and we know what the flag represents and everything else.
If you go into places that praises the Civil War and stuff like that, then you know that history. Then you know that history back then, that during the Civil War we were slaves. Then you know back then that there was racism that exists. So no, I will not excuse her behavior, because you was around that. You knew better. You didn't care. See, you just did not care. You knew it. You didn't care.
See, because I want to discuss, like, can former people who had racist beliefs or whatever, can they be redeemed?
Yeah.
Right? Can they be corrected? Because if you grew up with it, You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Are they willing to be retrained, relearned,
Mm-hmm.
you know, educated for the miseducation? And so that's something that I like to, like, you know, have another discussion about,
Yeah.
or whatever.
So in closing, if you love this discussion, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell. And we'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye.
you.
And the Sunday's good.
Okay.